Call a crew to the fire tonight. Raise them up. Bring the fight. Boats hit the floor and the night it ignites. Steel in our veins, yeah, we live for the fight. Dust on our throats and a spark in our chest. We don't back down, we don't second guess. Katie's got the fire, lighting up the flame. Lacey swings hard, yeah, we're carving our name. From the gutter to the stage, from the bottom of the sky. We're the voice you hear when the weak don't try. We're that drum, feel it pounding your bone. No kids here, we take our own thrones. Hey, raise the crew, let them hear the sound. Hey, from the ashes we're burning it down. Hey, no retreat, no fear, no excuse. We are the roar, we are the Tuesday Crew.
Pins in the air and the chaos grows. Stories get loud where the wild wind blows. With scars and grit, yeah, we paid our dues. Now we're kicking indoors with nothing to lose.
Voices collide like a runaway train. Laugh through the struggle, dance through the pain. If you're standing with us, then you already know. We don't follow lines, we just steal the show. Feel that fire ripping straight through your chest. This ain't a game, it's a war cry test. Hey, raise the crew, let them hear the sound. Hey, from the ashes we're burning it down. Hey, no retreat, no fear, no excuse. We are the roar, we are the Tuesday Crew. Call them in, call them home. Through the fire, through the storm. We don't break, we reload. We don't kneel, we explode. Raise the crew, let them hear this.
Woo! Misfit Nation, we present to you the Tuesday Crew. Can you believe it? Tonight marks the final Tuesday of June. The next time we're together, America will have turned 250 years old. 250 years ago, the nation didn't begin with skyscrapers, highways, or world-changing technology. It began with an idea so bold that I challenged the greatest empire on earth, an idea that ordinary people could govern themselves, an idea that liberty was worth risking everything for. Were our founding fathers perfect? Hell no. Neither are we, and that's never been the point. Over the last 250 years, America has stumbled, fought through hardship, corrected course, and continued moving forward. We have faced wars, division, economic uncertainty, and moments that tested the very fabric of this nation. Yet through every generation, ordinary people have stepped forward to write the next chapter, because a country may be led by a president, it may be governed by a political party, but it's the mother-loving people who make it a nation. Whether you call a bustling city home, a quiet main street, a family farm, or a cabin nestled in the mountaintops, this incredible land belongs to you and me. And here's something that you should make every American proud. After several challenging years, military recruiting has reached its strongest numbers in more than 15 years. Thousands of young Americans are still raising that right hand to serve their country for something greater than themselves, looking outward. The numbers tell an incredible story. More than 16,800 young men and women competed for just over 1,200 slots at the Naval Academy. More than 14,000 applied to West Point. Nearly 11,000 to the Air Force Academy. This isn't just competition. That's commitment. That's hope. That's the next generation answering that call. America has never been perfect, but she'll always be worth fighting for, worth improving, worth defending, worth loving. So tonight, as we close out the month of June and prepare to celebrate 250 years of freedom, remember this. The next chapter of America won't be written in history books first. It will be written by us, by the way we lead, the way we serve, the way we treat one another, and that legacy we choose to leave behind. From all of us here at the Misfit Nation and the Tuesday Crew, thank you for spending another incredible month with us. Thank you for believing in meaningful conversations, authentic leadership, and the power of service above self. Now let's do what we do best. It's time to crank up that volume, ask those hard questions, share some laughs, inspire a few lives, and welcome another outstanding guest. This is what the Tuesday Crew does. Challenge accepted, mother lovers.
You know, it gets harder and harder every week to follow him. He like 85,000 miles an hour. He's in your face like this, and then it's like, what's up?
Exactly. But hey, we appreciate him. He's our producer, and we love him.
I nearly got up to salute the flag and start singing "God Bless America" after that speech. I was just,
yes,
walk away.
Yes, makes me proud to be an American. Oh, how's your week going?
Oh, it's a hot, sticky one for a fat guy like me. It's just like a puddle of like mud everywhere. You know, sweat.
I completely understand. High
90s, and a couple days are going to be in the triple digits, and it's just going to be one big sweaty mess.
Yes, it is definitely sticky. And I'd like to mention here something about my week. I went to Fairhope, Alabama this past weekend, and said goodbye to a brother. And I need to mention him, and I'm just going to say, Brian Burleson, fair winds and following seas, brother, and you will be missed. And it was quite a ride.
But you got out there, at least. That's good. You got to say your goodbyes.
Yeah, I got down there to see him. I went down a few weeks ago to see him one last time, and it was good. And it's good if you ever get the chance to, if you've got an old friend that you need to stay in touch with and go see him. It will do your heart good. It will do your heart good.
Amen. You ready to start this pig?
Hey, I tell you what, let's go.
All right. Okay, everybody. Tonight's guest spent more than 2 decades serving our nation in one of the most dangerous jobs in the military. 23 years in the United States Army, 17 of those as an explosives ordnance disposal technician, running towards the danger while everybody else was running away.
But Jeff Truex will tell you that the toughest battles aren't always fought on the battlefield. After losing a fellow EOD technician to suicide, Jeff found a new mission, helping save the lives of those who have served.
As president of After the Long Walk, he's helping veterans find hope, connection, and the courage to ask for help before it's too late.
So tonight, we're talking about brotherhood, resilience, mental health, motorcycles, outdoor cooking, chickens, yes, chickens, and what it really means to keep serving after the uniform comes off.
Let's welcome
Army veteran,
US
technician,
and president of After the Long Walk, Jeff Truex. Jeff, good evening.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
It's going well. How about you?
Doing great. Doing great.
Hey, we
Well,
gave a
cool.
little short bit of what you do and what you're about. Why don't you fill the nation in on the rest? You can start from wherever you want and bring us up to date.
Well, I kind of start at the beginning, if you guys don't mind. I was seaman once. No, just kidding. After about I joined the Army. I joined the Army in 1990 out of high school, and I did a couple of years here and a couple of years there. And then I was at the JRTC training at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and I can't quite remember the year, but I think it was 96 or maybe a little bit before that. But anyway, I watched. We were doing an assault on a bunker, and I was on the M60, and that kind of dates me as well. And we were shooting, blanks at the bunker, and they were storming the bunker and throwing grenades. And somebody tossed in a grenade, and they forgot to pull the jungle clip, and it didn't go off. So the OCs moved the entire battalion, all however many 900 to 1,000 dudes, away to a safe distance from a little tiny grenade. And we waited, and eventually 2 guys showed up wearing flak vests and Kevlars and holding something in their hand, and they walked into the bunker, and they found where the grenade was, and they blew it up on site. And I thought that was the coolest thing that I'd ever seen in the 8 years I'd been in the military at that time or less. And I said, I want to know more about that. And so I did some research, and I talked to some people, and I found out who they were, and I found out they were EOD techs, and I found out how to apply to be an EOD tech and what I had to do to go to school, and a little bit about it, and got accepted into the program, went to EOD school, and then had a awesome time for 17 years. Four deployments, 2 of them over a year long. So I got all the feathers in the cap: Iraq, Afghanistan, Bosnia, and Kosovo. Blew stuff up on 3 continents. It was a pretty cool ride, all told. Retired from the Army in 2014 and moved to Fort Bragg, where I had a house, and just kind of having a good time being retired now. Well, got to work, but still being retired.
Yeah. When did you go to EOD school?
98 and 99.
Okay. I think I was an instructor at Edwin at that time.
Okay. So yeah, I probably went through. I started at Eglin, and then we moved up. I was like one of the last classes to go up to Indian Head to be to finish school up there.
Okay.
So yeah, and then graduated in early 99, probably January, February.
All right.
So, Jake, what flipped your switch? Or do you want to do that? It was him. It was a grenade, but with the pin not being pulled. He was like, "Damn, that looks cool." They're walking in with the suits. What was it for you?
Well, I started off life as a cavalryman, and life sucked. And we were recovering from the field one Friday morning, and during PT across the quad, there was guys that come out. They weren't in PT uniforms; they were in regular clothes, and they were playing volleyball for PT. And after PT, they all went in and everything. They come back out. I don't know, probably about 9 or 10 o'clock. They were lighting a grill and having a beer. And so I walked over, and we was on break, and I walked over and I said, "Hey, what kind of job do you guys have where you're playing volleyball for PT and lighting a grill and drinking beer at like 10 o'clock in the morning on a Friday?" They're like, "Oh, we're EOD techs." And I'm like, how do I get that job? And they took me in. I scheduled an interview, and that's how I spent the rest of my career.
That's okay. That's pretty amazing.
Drinking beer and blowing stuff up.
He saw something that blow up, and you saw a guy drinking it that morning. It's like, yeah, I want to do that. Okay. I like that. Two different mindsets. I like that.
Hey, it is what it is.
Jeff, did I take all your fire away? I'm sorry. I had to ask Jake.
No, not at all.
Actually, asked him that question. All the times we talked to EOD guys, I never asked him why he started.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question to ask. I mean, everybody has their reasons. Some people, it's one of the hardest schools in the military to pass. Not as much physically, but definitely mentally. And so some people get in it for the mental challenge, and I've met some really, really, really smart people that were terrible EOD techs, and I've met some really, really dumb people that were great EOD techs. So it really brings in all kinds, and you never know what will lead them to that. Some people, the recruiter page 12 says, "Oh, you want to be an EOD tech? You want to do this?" And that sounds good. So they don't know what they're getting into straight off the street, but it takes all kinds, and I've met some really, really great people doing what I do.
And there's a lot of them that use it as a stepping stone. They use it as a stepping stone to go out to bigger and better things. And
for sure,
we get all kinds of folks. So Jeff, you get out of the Army, you retire in 2017, and what we come here to talk about this evening, and it's pretty much our core mission here. And won't you talk about, if you don't mind, talk about what led you to After the Long Walk?
Yeah, it was actually 2014 I retired, and in 2015 I was working just a desk job, not super exciting, but staying in touch on social media, and we had heard that a EOD tech had killed himself. His name was Chris Boynton. In November of 2000, October, November, I can't remember. I could dial it in, but he took his own life, and we make sure I got that right. Yeah, I think so. One of my buddies, Landon Jackson, he said, guys, we need to do something to stop this, because we'd had a significant number of suicides that year and previous years, and he asked, what can we do to stop this? And a few of us, we started just throwing ideas out and said, well, Facebook is the thing right now, so let's start a Facebook page. And, people need somebody to talk to when they're depressed, so let's start a hotline. And then let's start a GoFundMe account and see if someone will help us pay for this thing. And we just kind of, from the, skin of our teeth, we've kind of figured out, we built the airplane in flight, literally, and just created something from nothing, and started a Facebook page and started a hotline. We've had the same 800 number since 2015. Wow, that's more than a decade now. And we've had, hundreds of calls and talked to thousands of people. But the crazy thing was, as soon as we started this thing, as soon as we had a Facebook page, and it was up and running, and I had a couple volunteers on that hotline. It was probably me in the beginning. We got a one word post on Facebook, the word help. And we did some looking, and we found who it was, and we found out where he was, and we called his chain of command, and they got to his room in the barracks and got the door open. And he had taken a lethal dose of sleeping pills, but he posted the word help after he took those pills, and before they could really do their job, we got him to the hospital and got his stomach pumped, and he stayed in the hospital for a little while, and that next day, me and another buddy went to go visit him in the hospital, And it was just amazing that the first, we hadn't been live for very, very long, and we had a dynamic, incident like that where, everything that we wanted to do happened, and it happened well, and we saved a guy's life.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. And since then, it's just it's become more of a just a duty. It's just somebody has to do it, and so I'll do it. Fuck it, and just keep on doing it.
Yeah, and I follow the page, and and there's, I'm not gonna say daily, but weekly, there's somebody on there getting help. There's somebody, hey, has anybody heard from so and so? His last post was kind of messed up. We need to, and just the outpouring of love and support from the community is it just amazes me. And I need to get off my butt and contact you and get the training so I can man the phones.
I'm going to bring up another link then.
Okay.
Yep. Our training is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A while ago, the CSS, the Columbia University came up with a CSSRS screening, and it was really, actually I want to go to that link, but it's really straightforward screening system, and it turned into the ACE card. I don't know if you're familiar with that from the military. I probably have a copy of that somewhere, but it turned into the military suicide prevention kind of training that they did. And it's really, really simple. Anybody can ask these questions. I'm going to drop this. Can I drop a PDF on that chat? Let's see. It's a link to a PDF, so probably. But it's really straightforward and simple. They just ask some super easy questions. And it's like, have you wished you were dead, or wish you could go to sleep and not wake up? And then there's yes or no, and those are marked yellow on the matrix. And then have you actually had thoughts of killing yourself? Yes or no. Again, marked yellow. So yellow's not great, but it's not the worst. And then it goes on to more. Have you been thinking about how you might do this? Have you come up with a method? And that's kind of orange, so that's getting kind of serious. And that's in the last month. And then have you started to work out a plan or details on how to kill yourself? Well, that's red. So when you work through the matrix and you get yes answers on red, all right, now we're serious about you've come up with a plan. We need to get in the way of that plan. And that's what we do. We try to get in the way of that plan. Whether it's keeping them on the phone as long as we can, and calling their chain of command, calling their family, calling people in the area, calling the local police department to do a wellness check, whatever we got to do. Our guys do that. And, I've got 2 guys on volunteer status every single week for the last 11 years. And then a huge pool of EOD techs who are willing to help out. And then a larger swath of the country is covered by EOD techs. And we just start calling people and say, hey man, I'll quote Dave Silva. He's a EOD sergeant major. He called up a guy and said, hey man, you don't know me and I don't know you, but there's a guy that neither of us know, and he's not far from you. You need to get in your car and you need to go knock on his door and let him know you're in town. And sure enough, the guy said, what's the address? And he hopped in his car and he drove to this other EOD tech's house and he knocked on the door and they had a conversation, and he either escorted him to the hospital or he spent some time with him, but he stopped a suicide, and it was complete strangers. The only thing in common was that they're EOD techs. And so, that network's been built over the last 11 years, and it seemed, I don't want to, wave too many flags, but it works pretty well.
Hey, you know what? We preach here. If one of our weekly shows helps one person, then hey,
Absolutely.
we have completed our mission. And like I said, I follow the page, and the community is doing some amazing work out there. And like I said, here soon, I'm gonna get off my butt, and I think I'm in a place now that I can do that. I've had guys call me, message me on Facebook, because I'm usually up 2 or 3 times a night, because I'm getting to the age that my bladder does that to me, and I'll just check Facebook messages while I'm up. And I had a guy message me and says, "Hey, are you up?" And I told him yes, and sent my phone number, and he called me, and shoot, we talked for about 3 hours, and hopefully I helped him to a better place.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. I mean, 90% of the people who call our hotline or reach out on Facebook, it's, there's ones that call out for help, and then there's ones that just call out to talk to somebody, and they may not be suicidal whatsoever. They're just kind of down. But that conversation that they have with another EOD tech or another, friendly voice is that thing that keeps them going. It's the community is absolute key.
And I think that's I think when we first get out, I know I went through it. You kind of you lost your purpose, and you lost your people, and you need to find something else. And we talk about that all the time on this show, of redefining your purpose, finding your tribe. And I just like it that we have enough people in this community that care about one another, that your tribe's always here. You just gotta reach out to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. So many guys get out, and some get out with a vengeance. I know way back in '94, I got out of my first hitch up in Alaska, and I walked out with my signed clearing papers, and I pulled my patch off my shirt, and I threw it in the gutter, and walked to the barracks, got on a plane, and I was done with the Army. And some people follow that train a lot longer than they should, because once you're out, it doesn't mean you're done. You still got connections. It's just people tend to disappear. And you're welcome, Josh. Love you. People are there, so you got connections that you'll never forget about, and just keep on staying in touch. Instead of you can't dive into a cave and expect that you're going to do well.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And I am glad that this is giving folks a platform to it's just another tool that they can reach out to. Because you can dial other numbers and whatever, but at least if you dial this number, especially being an EOD guy, that the person that picks up that phone is going to have something in common with you.
For sure. That's super important, to have that instant connection. Because like you can dial 988, and I see that coming across your banner on the bottom, and you can talk to somebody, and I mean they could be the greatest person in the world, but you're still going to have to work towards a connection. And that's not a terrible thing. Sometimes you don't want anyone to know who you are. You want to be completely anonymous, and that's fucking cool too. But if you're able to connect with somebody and have that instant, like you and I, when did you go to school? Oh, I was an instructor at that time. Where were you stationed? Oh, I was stationed at Bragg. You can have that instant legitimacy and get through some of that red tape, and get on to the conversation at hand.
Yes. Yes, it is. Well, shoot, Steven, what you got? I'm gonna let you pipe in here. You got anything?
Well, I got a pocket full of marbles. No, I'm just sitting here listening to this.
Those aren't marbles,
This
brother.
this is a great conversation.
Now, has anybody from any other military specialties reached out about starting a group like this within their own career fields?
I've talked to some, and I don't know what kind of traction it's gained. But that'd be great. I mean, if I could package up what we did and put it in a, just walk into an infantry battalion and say, hey, y'all, this is what we're doing, and this is how we do it, and you guys can do it for fucking $25 a month, because that's what my phone line costs. You can do it really, really easily. I'd love to be able to do that and see a reaction, but some people have done some things like it, and I just shared a link on the studio chat. If it's from a organization called Sound Off, and this guy he started a text-based suicide prevention or help website, and it's pretty legit. One thing it takes, there's two aspects to it. There's absolute professional medical help that you can reach out to for a free hour and just chat with, and that's whether to find out if you need more, to validate your feelings, whatever. And that hour is paid by donations from different organizations, including the EOD Warrior Foundation. And then the other half is Battle Buddies, and it's just Joe off the street who's waiting for a text. And the great thing about that Battle Buddy program is it's not anybody can sign up for it, but you're also vetted to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and then you get a little bit of training, or you've had some sort of training so that you know how to deal with those questions, whether it's safe talk or some path training from Boulder Crest, or any number of them. I haven't looked at it in a little while to see exactly all the different training venues, but your battle buddies are vetted, and they're sitting and they're ready to help you for the right reasons. So it's a really good website, and we support it. And the EOD Warrior Foundation pays for a few hours of therapy every month. And what's really cool is I ran into some guys. We were doing an EOD gathering here in North Carolina, and I ran into some guys, and I had a handful of magnets from Sound Off, and I was passing them out and said, "Oh yeah, I use Sound Off all the time. In fact, my regular therapist is a therapist on Sound Off," and we linked back up on Sound Off, so it was kind of cool. To close that loop, to know that there's people in my organization or in my community that are using that organization as well. I thought that was really neat to close that loop a little bit.
We got a question coming in, first one of the night. Let's get it on the stage.
Send it.
At Jelly Dude wants to know, what was the moment that convinced you your next mission had to be helping your fellow EOD veterans? It's a very good question, Jelly Dude. We talked about it, but go on and.
Yeah, my buddy Landon reached out to a few of us and just said, "Hey, we need to do something," and like 4 or 5 of us said, "Yeah, we do," and that was the decision. It was that simple. We saw when an EOD tech does complete suicide on social media, you'll see the EOD badge, and it'll be wrapped in purple and blue, and we were seeing badges pop up when there wasn't an active conflict, and that was just too much for us. And so we were tired of seeing it. And as soon as one person said, "Hey, let's do something about this," yep, let's do something about this, and we did. That's all it took, was somebody to give us the idea, and we ran with it.
And not a lot of people would do that. Next question. Didn't even know it was there yet. Look at that. I love them. The big. I love. Okay, I'm sorry. Why do you think asking for help is still so difficult in the military community? Thank you for that question. I love them. The big one.
I think one reason is, you know, especially my generation. There you go. You answered that question right there. Pride. In one word, instead of a long, lengthy explanation, you're proud to be in the military, and you're proud to be a veteran, and you're proud to have done what you did. And, you know, asking for help can seem like it's the absolute worst thing you can do. It's a big chunk of pride that you gotta get past to get help. And that one word is an absolute truth. Pride is probably the hardest thing that keeps you from getting help in the military.
Well, the year or two we've been doing this now, we've heard that answered a lot of different ways, and a lot of it is you're training and they're telling you, you know, no, you're okay, don't worry about it. You know, so in your mind, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. You know, or you get the I don't want to open my mouth because then they'll look at me differently, or then they'll move me, or then they'll do this.
The other thing is the military and the stigma of your security clearance. If I get if I get help from a mental health professional, my security clearance is done. And that can't be farther from the truth. There's memorandums out there stating that just the fact you go to mental health doesn't affect your military clearance whatsoever. But you know what does affect your military clearance is if you take a different route to get mental health.
Yes.
And when you crawl in the bottom of a bottle, or if you decide that beating up on somebody is going to help your mental health, which it does, but in a controlled mean. But if you crawl into a bottle instead of going to the psychiatrist, you're going to get drunk. You're gonna become an alcoholic. You're going to lose your job, or you're going to drive your car and you're going to smash into a tree or whatever. And those things, the stacked up DUIs, the bad reports at work, those things will help you really fast lose your clearance. But getting help from a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a free volunteer hotline, that's not going to affect your military clearance. It's actually going to support your military clearance. Because if the investigator does, theoretically, if the investigator does look at your record and say, all right, Jeff went to the VA for 8 sessions for mental health. That's cool. Well, he's working on himself. That's a good thing. And it just kind of adds to the positive versus, Jeff just, wrecked another car. We don't want to do that again. So that's probably a big thing that keeps people from getting help in the military is the stigma around mental health and things like that, which is a great segue. The EOD Warrior Foundation has been going around the country really, and having an event called Reducing the Stigma. In fact, there's another one coming up this fall in Virginia Beach, on which I need to get some details about because I think I'm going to be part of it. But they just bring people from the community who have experienced, a dip in their mental health from one aspect or another, and how they got through it, and sharing that with whoever the audience is. And the audience has been from 3 or 4 people who were there for the snacks, or a whole room full of people who are actually wanted to hear the story. And we've had so many people participate that we actually did a retreat with those of us who had participated. And we went to a songwriting with soldiers retreat where we all wrote a song about, what helps our mental health. And we produced an album, a legit song. We're legit songwriters. If it gets picked up by, Tyler Childers, cool. Maybe I'll get a couple dollars. But I was going to say Alan Jackson, but he just quit. I can't say it anymore. So there's enough of us that we filled up a retreat and we had a good time doing it. And so the reducing the stigma events, there should be some more information coming out on Facebook soon. But next one's in Virginia Beach, and we'll just keep going from there.
And hey, you know, the more people that get involved, the more folks that can be helped, and you know, maybe we'll start running those numbers down a little bit.
That's it. You both mentioned the Facebook page like 17 times, right? Anybody can say what the page is for their listeners so they know to go check it out?
Well, for EOD Techs, the EOD Warrior Foundation is on Facebook as such, just EOD Warrior Foundation. For EOD Techs, looking to get on my Facebook page, it's just after the long walk, and we vet pretty well to make sure that we keep the EOD guys. You know, most, probably 99% of my guys are EOD guys on my page. We've invited a few chaplains and a few mental health professionals that have either worked with EOD techs or are EOD techs. But you know, we vet our guys, so it's kind of a EOD members only page. But the EOD Warrior Foundation, I can share that link. If I can type fast enough. And they've got the reducing the stigma will pop up on their page. And that's off to the producer. Okay. So how'd you guys get started?
Oh,
Jake and I, we would hang out in the chat room while the producer did the show 3 times a week, and we would battle with, you know, back and forth and cause trouble. And he finally turned around and said, "Why don't you guys just do a damn show?" And they gave us Tuesday, and that was the Tuesday crew.
Cool.
And from watching and listening and playing to sitting in front of the camera saying, "What's up?"
Nice.
And I tell you what, if I'm totally honest, this show has probably, and doing the podcast and interviewing people, has probably helped my mental health more than we get to meet so many people. We get to help people. And you find out that, hey, there's people out there that have the same problems I do. They got to pay the same bills that I do. They have, you know, the washing machine breaks, the car breaks, you know, everybody's got the same issues. And it's kind of leveled me out, man. I really like it. It's helped me a lot.
No, it's what you found to help you, you know. I went through a study with the VA last month, and I was reading through the findings, and to see it on paper was kind of cool. Service member finds his place in helping other service members versus, you know, going to a doctor on the regular or meds or anything like that. My thing is helping people. That's where I find my mental health. And yours, you know, you've got this platform, and you can see people ask questions, and maybe they ask the hard questions, or they see you and they reach out, and, you know, they're in, hey, I saw you on Misfit Nation, and I'm just want to talk about whatever, you know, the broke down car or whatever. Everybody has it. Like you said, everybody has the same thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we've met a lot of them. You know, and the people we've talked to, it's different ways of helping different people, and how everybody reacts differently to this, and it's great conversations, and it's getting the word out there that A, you're not alone, and B, there's always something different to do to better yourself.
Oh, there always is. Always.
Yeah. You don't just have to pick up a bottle of pills and say, okay, I'm better. No, you can go and do this. You can ride a bike. You can go You can go fishing. You could do this, and you can change your damn life just getting out and getting with people, talking about your problems, and just hanging out fishing for a day. How much all of that can change your life.
Yeah, and absolutely. The banner saying "Do hard things." That's what we do in the military. Is we do hard things. We walk 12 miles before 10 o'clock in the morning. We shoot guns, and then we got to clean them. That's hard.
Yeah.
We deploy to a foreign country and hopefully don't get blown up, and spend 12 months away from our families, and that's a hard thing. And then you get out of the Army, and sometimes there's no more hard things to do, so you got to come up with those hard things, like ride a motorcycle 1,000 miles in a day, or jump in 45-degree water for 5 minutes, or cook for cook for 500 people. Try that. That's hard. All these things that I do on a regular basis. Well, not all of them, but they're hard and they're arduous, and you feel great when you accomplish something like that.
And
How often you
keeping chickens alive.
Miles on a day? That's the question.
Keeping chickens alive is hard. That's hard work. What'd you say, Steve?
Yeah.
How many times have you gotten on the bike and driven 1,000 miles in a day?
In one day, I haven't gotten to 1,000 miles yet.
Oh, okay.
From the furthest I've ridden in one day was from. Did we get all the way? Yeah, all the way from Florida to up to Virginia. We rode from the EOD Memorial back up to AP Hill, Virginia, and that was a hard. That's over 800 miles. Pretty cool, and we do that every year. Ride down from wherever to the memorial, so it's pretty wild.
That's cool. I have a question here somewhere. Here we go. Jesse now Jerome wants to know, what signs should family members watch for if they're worried about a veteran they love?
Oh man, there's
that question.
Hard question. There's a lot of signs, but some of the obvious ones are dramatic change. If you've been, you hang out with your cousin all the time, and your cousin's a happy person, and the family reunion is going great, and then one year, you're at the family cookout, and your cousin is sitting off alone and just not paying attention to family, off by himself. It gives you an opportunity to ask, what's wrong. Look out for dramatic change. Look out for different signs, like trying to offload stuff. You got another relative that has a whole bunch of always been into cars, and then suddenly they're selling off their cars, selling all their tools, closing up the shop, whatever they were doing. Just kind of a dramatic change like that. Those are the big changes. Other changes are just, they're quiet. Some people are naturally quiet. I am not. So they're quiet and just, but, say someone like me who's, rather gregarious and able to pronounce large words, suddenly dummies up and he's not the people person that he was yesterday or last month. Maybe that's a sign. And if it's not a sign and you go up and ask him, hey man, are you all right? That can make somebody's day anyway. So if you think something's a sign, hey, are you doing all right? And if they're really not, they want to tell somebody. I don't know. I don't have statistics on it. There should be a study done, but there's a dude that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. He actually survived. And you can look him up on the Googler. And dude said he was walking from where he parked his car to the middle of the Golden Gate Bridge, which is a hard thing. I've done that a couple times. But he said if one person had stopped and said, hey, how are you? Just in a friendly stranger way, hey, what's up? He would have stopped, turned around, and gone back to his car. But not a single person talked to him. So, just talk to everybody. Talk to absolutely everybody. family,
Yeah.
strangers, neighbors.
I've been learning that more and more in the last few years. I get yelled at that I don't talk to enough people. I have that Jersey attitude where if somebody does walk up to me and say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "What the hell do you want?" It's not, "I'm good," whatever. What the hell do you want?
Hey,
It's that Jersey flight I live with. And I've been told I need to just talk to people and open up and be more social.
maybe you'll run into a new fellow New Jerseyan, and they'll say, "Well, this is what the hell I want," and he'll let you know.
Yes. Yes.
I saw the comment on that came through from Surfer Boy. I didn't catch your whole handle, but there you go. I call it wind therapy. Wind therapy is absolute. There's truth to that. I learned early on when I started riding a motorcycle that you can't ride a motorcycle angry. And so when I get off work, no matter how the day was, I probably ride my motorcycle almost every day. If it's raining outside the garage when I leave to go to work, I'll think about it. If it's pouring and there's lightning, maybe I'll take the truck. But if there's a hint that it's going to be a nice day, I'm riding my bike to work, and you have to turn the motorcycle on. So no matter how the day was at work, you have a physical switch that you have to press to turn on the motorcycle. And if you just think instead of turning on your motorcycle, you turn off your day, that just clears everything up. And then just crank some tunes and fight the traffic and get home faster than everybody else. I mean, get home at a legal rate of speed.
Oh, I have a little Kia Soul, and I get home faster than most people because I just guess and say screw you and blow down Route 80. But that's just me. I play this zip in and out and get out of Dodge.
I'm sorry, but I was going to say you mentioned swag earlier.
I did.
Let's pop up the swag page if the producer has it.
Yeah, we got swag on 2 websites. And we'll see which one pops up first. Here we go. Crab Zone. Now we're that's EOD swag. They are the pinnacle of EOD swag. They've got it all there. Great T-shirts, things like that, and mementos. They're down at Eglin, and they're like Mecca. You show up. Jake, you remember when you graduated school? You went to Bombs Away up there in Indian Head. Same thing with Crab Zone. These kids graduate. Their first stop after graduation is the Crab Zone. More recently, K Factor, that's up now. He wanted to make a T-shirt for us, and we said absolutely, do it. And he did, and we've got a really nice T-shirt, and he's got some other great stuff on there. That 82% stud, 80% stud, 20% muffin, or vice versa. I think I'm more muffin than stud these days. So these are great T-shirts, and a bit or all of the profit goes back to After the Long Walk. So we can go ahead and use that money to help other people. Another site we have is Milvec, and he's militaryvectors.com. And he's got stickers, and he can put a vinyl cutout on absolutely anything. And we've been working with there we go. We've been working with Jason for a long time, and that logo there was actually on a NASCAR race car a couple weeks ago in San Diego. I don't know if you guys saw the Saturday race, but number 0 was rocking the After the Long Walk logo. And then if you catch up with me or catch up with one of my people, or pretty soon up in Maryland at the USBTA HQ, there's going to be a pile of poker chips. We've got those out for everybody. And every once in a while we'll find some stickers somewhere. I was trying to send out stickers for a while, and we can start the campaign again right here if you want. If you get an EOD or an After Long Walk sticker, and you get a stack of them, and then just kind of, if I can get them to you, I'll send them in an envelope. I don't care. And then just put it somewhere and take a picture of that somewhere, and then share it on our website. That'd be pretty darn cool. I know there's one sticker at a rest area going across the North Carolina mountains into Tennessee. I put that one there. There was one on a what's going on, Wayne? Good to see you.
Wayne Cattle Butt.
There was one on a finish line of a racetrack near Charlotte somewhere. Get home during the speed limit. I'm not sure what the speed limit is, but okay.
Obstacles. I don't see obstacles.
Oh, that's Jen. Hey, what's up, Jen?
But hey, yeah, I'll take some, and I'll definitely
send those stickers to me in Jersey.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my little scooter and we'll go.
Absolutely. I'll get some addresses when we close this out.
Yeah.
All right.
I have another question. Jake, is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, bud. Ed Hunt for me wants to know, what has surprised you most about the impact after the long walk has made over the years? Thank you for that question, Hunt.
We used to, well, you can bring up some FOIA, and what's really going to surprise me is later on. I got numbers from 2011, 2021 on suicide rates for different MOSs, and according to the FOIA that was downloaded, it was 88 average annual suicide rates per 100K from 2011 2021. That was 88.61 for EOD techs, and the next highest was 58.3, and that was for 19 kilo, and then and down from there. Infantry was down to 50% or 50 per 100K, and that was surprising to see those numbers. And there's not 100,000 EOD techs, so 88 is a big fucking number for as few EOD techs as there are. And so that kind of surprised me when I found that information. And now, as we've been going on for 11 years now, I can't. Well, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm kind of looking forward to what the next numbers are. What are the numbers from 21 to 26, or the numbers from 21 to 31? How much did we drop? And I'm looking forward to seeing that, because there's a noticeable shift. I don't have there's no way to tell how many EOD techs we've saved because of the privacy of that we try to maintain. So we do know how many we've lost, but we definitely don't know how many we've saved. And I'd love to know that number, but I'm not going to look for it. There you go, stacking them up. But in 5 years, when they do another 10-year study on EOD techs, I'd like to know and see if that surprises us.
Let's hope it does.
Yeah,
let's hope it does.
One cool thing is when we've been. I shared another link for a story. Where'd it go? It was I was in a newspaper or in an article at the beginning of the year titled "Death from 1,000 Cuts," and I keep in touch with the author. His name is Daniel Johnson. Somehow that article made it to Congress. I don't know who I emailed to do that, but we've been tossed around on the Hill quite a little bit, and now I'm going to read from the note that he sent me, and it goes, and then ... as well as reporting on blast overpressure exposure among explosive ordnance disposal technicians. That's from Congress. The committee directs the Secretary of War to provide a briefing to the committees on armed services of the Senate and the House of Representatives no later than March 1st, 2027 on the Department of Defense's efforts to alleviate, prevent, and mitigate blast overpressure, exposure, and brain injuries among those at risk service members. So, we got seen. There you go, the assembly. That's kind of surprising to see it. We've got congressmen who are EOD techs. We've got plenty of politicians who are out there waving the crab as well. But now they're starting to talk about it, and that's a pleasant surprise to see things like that. And here in 2 weeks, on July 14th, is EOD Day on the Hill in Washington, D.C. at our nation's capital. It's one of the most visited events on Capitol Hill as well. So it definitely brings in the congressmen, and the EOD guys set up their tables, and the nonprofits set up their, peddle their wares, and congressmen and staffers and everybody comes in and has a free beer and hangs out. And I've been there once or twice. This year it may not be in the cards, but I'm going to have people there. But we're on the Hill, and they're starting to pay attention. So that's a pleasant surprise as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. As we kind of start to wrap up here, if there's techs out there listening right now that want to become part of After the Long Walk, maybe volunteer, how do we reach out to do that?
Well, we just started. We're coming into the 20th century, and we got emails. You can hit me up direct at jeff@afterthelongwalk.com, and I can put you in the right direction. I know a lot of people don't do social media, and for one reason or another. So we're trying to branch out a little bit and get away from the social media. So EOD Hub is a newish website. And I think I shared the link earlier, but I'm going to share it again. And I'm if I remember, I'm posting there as well. And you just got to get for volunteerism every Monday. I change the volunteers out, and so in the afternoon on Monday, I put out a call for 2 volunteers. Generally, the guys from my pool, they fight to send a text and say, "Hey, man, put me in," and I give them a shift for 7 days, 24 hours a day. Sometimes we have 3 people on. Sometimes we just keep 2. But there's always, where there's one is none, we know that. 2 is 1, so we make sure there's 2 people on shift. But if you can reach out either via email or on Facebook, or reach out through the EOD Hub on the forum there, we can definitely get you hooked up. All we ask for is that simple training from the Columbia Lighthouse, and know what the CSSRS matrix looks like. Now, if you're, if you retired from the Army and you went into a life of mental health, if you got a licensed mental health professional, I think we'll pass on the Columbia training, and you kind of self-qualified there. And we do have a couple guys that are, mental health professionals that are actually manning the lines. And then if you just want to help out, just reach out and we'll find out what we're doing next, whether it's volunteering at an EOD community run in Texas, or or a push-up booth down in Florida. Whatever you want to do to help out. If you want to tell your story, we can set that up as well.
All right. A lot of good stuff.
One of the things I didn't get to bring up the whole conversation you were talking, because you were kind of all over the place. You like cooking. What is your go-to? What do you like cooking the most? Ribs, blah, blah, blah. What?
All right. So I grew up in California.
Okay.
and tri-tip
So
out in
tofu
California
burgers.
is a staple for the barbecue world. Everybody loves a tri-tip. Well, I took it a step further, and you talk to some people in California, and tri-tip's supposed to be cooked to medium rare over a Santa Maria style with spices and all that. Yeah, man, I cook tri-tip like a brisket. I season it up the night before. It sits in the fridge and dry ages for about 8 hours. And I throw that thing on 5 hours before I want to eat it, and I cook it just like a brisket. And that is some of the best meat you ever put in your mouth. Well, maybe not you, Steve, but that tri-tip is my go-to. And second to that, in fact, I'll probably do one this weekend. I like to make a smoked meatloaf. So I'll put a meatloaf together, and I'll smoke that for 3 or 4 hours with some cheese in the middle and maybe a little Jack Daniels in the sauce and the cook. And actually, I got away from Jack Daniels. Maybe a little Buffalo Trace meatball or meatloaf, and go from there.
Sounds good. Well, Jeff, we got a few more questions for you here.
Yeah, man, send it.
All right. You're fixing to hit the Tuesday Crew lightning round.
Okay.
Pop culture edition.
Send it.
All right. Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Marvel and DC.
Batman or Iron Man?
Nah, I probably The Boys. Let's go with that. I'm going to stray away from it.
Okay. All right.
Top Gun or Black Hawk Down?
Ooh. Top Gun.
Classic rock or country?
That's Kid Rock.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Favorite road trip snack?
Truck stop sushi.
Ugh.
Beef jerky.
Netflix binge or YouTube rabbit hole?
Well, I'll start a binge on Netflix, and then I'll get into a YouTube rabbit hole.
Okay. All right.
If you could ride your motorcycle anywhere in America tomorrow, where would you go?
Nova Scotia, Canada. But that's not America. My bad. A buddy of mine, one of my brothers wants to ride to France, and so one of these days we're going to go north to New York, and we're going to go into Nova Scotia, and then we're going to real subtle like turn right, and eventually there's a French territory at the very edge of Nova Scotia, so we're going to ride to France.
Nice. Now, which fictional character would make the best EOD teammate?
Is this a family show?
You can say whoever you want, man.
Man, I don't know. John Wick would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess he would.
All right. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Now, before you answer this one, remember there's probably folks from the EOD Chefs page watching this.
There are, and I'm going to get demerits, but I don't care. Man, I was in Japan once, and they put peas on pizza. It's pizza. It don't matter. There's no rules. So pineapple, knock yourself out. Smoked pineapple on pizza. There you go.
Awesome.
Pineapple flatbread my ass. Love you, Chris.
Jeff.
And I think you and Jay should answer this last question. The chickens escape. What's your first move? Chase them, bribe them with food, or call for backup?
So this here is a thermal sight. You can
Nice.
see chicken feathers on it. I'll chase them around till I get tired. And if no backup's available, we'll see what the dogs do. Anyway, I didn't say.
All I got to do is shake a bag of mealworms.
Oh yeah, they'll come running. Once
Oh,
they get
yes,
out of their
they
coop,
will.
they don't go running very far.
No. Well, Jeff, it's been a good time tonight. Really appreciate everything that you're doing out there. I know it's helped a bunch of people, and just I applaud you for what you're doing, what your volunteers are doing, and tell you what, I'm gonna catch you next time you're in Aaron.
All right, bring it. Hey, you want to catch
I'm right
me?
down the road.
You want to catch me? Next, Wayne wants to ride to Hawaii. I'll ride with you, Wayne. In August, I'll have a flyer pretty soon for it, and I'll share it with y'all. The EOD Motorcycle Club is having a 20th anniversary in Rutherfordton, North Carolina. So that's not too far from Aaron.
Okay.
So we'll be there. Details forthcoming. 20 years is going to be a heck of a party there. And then we're in Aaron, Tennessee, every year for our spring fling. That comes up last couple weekends in April before the EOD Memorial. And they have open houses there as well. So yeah, man, don't worry about me. Just go hang out with the boys, and then you can catch me in Rutherfordton. The EOD, we're going to have the EOD Motorcycle Club has a spaghetti dinner in Virginia as well. Details come out of that soon. So we're always riding, we're always around, and I'm usually with them. So yeah, come on out.
All right. And if you're listening tonight, if you happen to wear an EOD badge, you need some help, check out After the Long Walk. If not, and you're out there and you're feeling the darkness, pick up that phone, dial 988, take option 1 if you're a veteran. Somebody on the end of that line will get you some help. If you don't want to call that number, contact us here at the Misfit Nation. Get us at Stephen at themisfitnation.com, Jake at themisfitnation.com, or info at themisfitnation.com, and we will hit you back. And because we love you, and tomorrow will not be as beautiful today if you're not in it.
True story. I would much rather, I'd much rather listen to your story than listen to your obituary. So,
yes.
All right.
Jeff, thank you. Jake, good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Misfit Nation, another great show's coming to an end. Don't forget to check us out Saturdays, Wreaths Across America at 5 p.m. Eastern. And we will see you next week.
Actually, we'll see you on Thursday.
Everybody. Actually,
we'll see everybody on Thursday.
I totally forgot that, but yes. Otherwise, we will see you next week.
All right.
All right, man. Nice to meet you guys. Happy 4th of July.
Yep. Thank you, Seth. You too.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation Show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.